I hear that and I'm like, boom, there's a bit of math. Like a lot of people are just like thinking, oh, but I want the cool thing. Like, what do you have to
I want
say?
the cool thing, but I have to deal with math. Fuck.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, that is a part of the world in which we live, is that you don't need, I mean, I remember I was in AP geometry when I was in 9th grade. I haven't touched anything resembling that in my adult life. And so anything past, to me, like maybe 7th grade math has been extraneous in adult life. The only exception was when I was in Australia, I accidentally blew out a power socket, and this electrician, tradie as the Kiwis would say, came over, and he was explaining to me like the sine waves. And I hadn't heard the term sine wave since like 12th grade math. And I was like, okay, so there are people out there who needed that, but like I just wasn't one of them. But 7th grade math in this is necessary. Like that level of numeracy is necessary for the same reason that literacy is necessary. And so I would challenge people that if me talking about a 23% interest rate and then that turning 100K into 123 or into 77, if that caused you to contract, I would challenge you to ask yourself the question, like, what do you need to do and who do you need to ask for support so that isn't tripping you up anymore? Because that is a horrific impediment to go through adult life with. And there will be a great deal of opportunity that you'll talk yourself out of subconsciously, I think, if you're afraid of confronting basic numeracy. And I do remember a colleague in the States telling me on pretty strong authority that due to their research, it was something in the neighborhood of most adults in first world countries are afraid of fractions. Numerator over denominator strikes fear into the hearts of most adults in most first world countries, or all first world countries. And that, in my opinion, plays a disproportionate role in explaining why inequality has ballooned to where it is. And so whatever it is that we can do to prevent that from happening in the school system, but then also to exercise cure in adulthood life, where if anybody listening to this, like how many hours in the last month did you spend accumulating information on any number of things? Could you just give a little bit of that time to just plugging that 4th grade math problem so that it isn't costing you dearly? And I say that with like sub-zero condescension and just like genuine concern, because if I was like sneakily sort of like introvertedly intimidated every time that a check came to the table and I had to calculate a 20% tip, that would be a real problem. And that would cause me to trust people with things that I don't think any human should be trusted with other than yourself.